we all know that the heartbreaking trade that you experience now. I will say this, and I'm not sure where you're a fan of right now in terms of the team, but we thought you brought us Alex Romanov, and Phil Deneau. Phil Deneau's gone. Romanov's also gone. But Dale, you did bring us this kid. Like we need to give you some credit for that trade that actually helped you bring us Kirby Dach. So I don't know if you know, but you did help to bring us this kid, and he looks to have some promise. So I just thought I would mention that because we thought that Romanov was the gift that we got out of it, but it's not, man. You're gonna have a gift that's gonna keep giving possibly for years to come. So
He should be. He should be. I think he's got all the talent in the world. He's big. He can skate. He can shoot. He's got the total package. So I just watching the little bit that I did last year. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's such a huge part of that future.
he just seems like a good kid. Yeah, like it just seems like untapped potential. I mean, it's too bad that you didn't get to be under Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton, because I know there was good and bad from your era with Bergevin, but it just seemed like these guys have a really cool, calm head about them, and it's not as emotional as it was with Berge.
Yeah, and I think that's why me and Berge got along. I have no ill will towards him. He traded for me and gave me opportunity the first time. Traded me is what it is. That's part of the business. That's where we were going. But then trading me back and giving me a second chance. So I got no ill will towards him at all. If I seen him today, we could have a beer. We could have laughs for sure. I think it was more probably the coaching staff that wasn't a fan of me the second time I came back.
Is that so? Okay. Well, I feel like, oh man, like wouldn't it have been just awesome to see you? I know hindsight's 2020 and everything, but like, how would you have liked playing for a guy you used to play against in Marty St. Louis? Because it seems like everyone's just like all about this coaching style now.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I was the one probably preaching that forever is you got to get more guys coaching like this, guys that understand. And you don't have to be the best player in the world to be the best coach. Marty was one of the best players in the world, during his prime. But, you could just see the way he talks to players on the bench, and you could see he gets fired up and stuff like that. But, from some of the guys that I've talked to, he just sounds like a guy that I would have loved to have been coached by, a guy that understands it, a guy that gets it. Just the days off and stuff that you hear, wow, we got tired. Like, that's just a guy that gets it. And again, I'm not saying you got to be the best player, but you had to have been there a little bit to kind of understand the grind that a season takes. And the day off thing is huge. You look at the best teams in the league, I guarantee you they're the teams with the most days off. And it's time and time again happening. And I said it in Montreal all the time, like Claude Julien, we were just at the rink every single day. And all I see is Marty St. Louis talking about days off. And I love hearing that. I just think that's such a key. If you're going to play for a long time, as a guy that had a extremely long career and successful, that's a guy that gets it.
What was the mindset of being at the rink every single day? Then, because that rest is going to be the only ingredient to keeping the team healthy.
I don't know. I think because it worked for him with Boston in 2011 when they won, like the story is during the playoffs, they were still practicing every single day and they weren't optional and stuff like that. I don't know the truth if that's behind. That's just kind of the stories that I heard about it. So if it works for you there, maybe it'll work for you here. But I don't know. I just was never. Every team that did that was never successful that I was on. The ones that were literally at the rink way too much. And I'm sitting there every day being like, today's got to be a day off. Nope. Practice tomorrow. Tomorrow's got to be a day off. Nope. Like we did it in Philly for 2 years. I was banging my head on the wall. Like, why are we at the rink so much? And our team is terrible. And you want to play your top guys so much and they're dying every night. Well, you wonder why. Same thing with Montreal when we were not a good team. We were at the rink every day.
I had no idea that you guys didn't like ever get days off. That's the first I'm hearing of that. So I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah. Claude Julien was at the rink a lot. We were there a lot. You get your mandatory 4 days a month. That's like, I'm pretty sure that's still an NHLPA rule.
Okay.
And we were like, we would get the 4 and that would be kind of it, which is a ridiculous amount to be at the rink. And it's not even sometimes getting on the ice. It's, you get back from a flight at 1, 2 a.m. If you're not going to go on the ice, okay, let's have a meeting at 2, 3 o'clock. We got all day. That's what we do for a living. So
sure,
you're not going to work somewhere else. But instead, it's like we got home at 2 a.m. Let's have a meeting at 9 a.m. when you play the next day. It's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why? So we're going to come have a meeting at 9 and we're going to be done by 11. Like it's just, And and you hear like a lot of teams that are still doing it. It just doesn't make any sense, but it's kind of like an old school mentality. So you talk about the new age of coaching and the Marty St. Louis and stuff like that. That's how you're going to have success.
I feel like Ron Bindenberg's probably doing the same thing. I could be wrong.
I mean, he's probably there every day working out by the looks of it, but I've heard him talk about the days off and stuff like that. Just guys that I think played a long time, understand, not even for 1 year, but if you're going to have success as a team for a couple of years in a row and you're going to have the same players and you're going to prolong careers, you just can't skate that much if you're going to play into June. Like guys winning the Stanley Cup, what is it, 3 weeks ago? Like you got 7, like, Vegas has really got to monitor, how much those guys are skating, even in training camp, if you're going to think you're going to make another run. So it's just crazy to see teams that have success every single year. Obviously you're on to something.
Right. Talk a little bit about the current state of the Habs. And I know you got a lot more to think about now. I mean, post career and stuff like that, but you're still plugged into the game. We've had a lot happen since you last came on, and this huge pick with this huge kid in Uri Slavkovsky, this kid from Slovakia. We just drafted another kid from I wanted to say Denmark, but it's Reinbacher. So anyway, David Reinbacher. And it was a big deal. My jaws were dropped on both drafts because I thought they should take somebody else. And how wrong I was, man. So with Marty at the helm and with Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton now there running the show, it's going to be a little while before we see these results turn over. But what do you make of the future with Suzuki Caulfield, Kirby Dach and Slavkovsky? They just signed Newhook. They got a bunch of potential promising players looking forward. So what do you make of where they're at right now?
Yeah, I think they got some good pieces. To be able to lock up Cole and Nick long-term obviously is huge. Where I wouldn't say Montreal is a prime target for free agents to sign. To get 2 young players like that to sign long-term is huge. We touched on Kirby Dach there a little bit, where the sky is, the potential is so huge for him with his size, his skill. Man, those are the guys you win with in the playoffs. You watch how big Vegas was, and even Florida. Like, those were big teams. And I know size is not everything, but when you have some guys like Cole and Nick, who are not the biggest of guys, it helps to have a guy like Kirby Dach coming down the middle and just every single night. So I like the way their team's shaping up. Seems like they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to make deals. They got some incredible young defensemen. I think when you look at how many rookies they had playing last year and playing the minutes that they were playing, I think, and I wasn't following every single game, but I want them watching and seeing the minutes they're eating up and how well they're doing. It's incredible. It's incredible. The defense is, outside of goaltending, defense is obviously the hardest position to learn in the NHL on the fly as a rookie. Like, it's not like you're in junior where everything's scrambling in junior. The NHL is so structured, and if you can't defend as a defenseman, you're going to struggle in the NHL. And they did so well. The sky is the limit for all those defensemen too. So they're building such a good back end. And, if we can get a goalie in there, I really like the way things are looking for them in the next couple of years.
Yeah, they just drafted a kid who has like a really, really likable personality. His name's Jacob Fowler, and they took him, I want to say 69th overall, I think it was. So, I mean, personality doesn't win you hockey games, but he just seemed like a kid that is like, I want to help you guys get Stanley Cups, and he actually said that. But we'll see what happens, right, in the sort of post Carey Price era here.